coin is that it kind of scales with the game, and it hurts the intel heroes a bit. Like, Lina at level 25 probably has, I don't know, 80 intelligence, and you're gonna burn like 320 mana from her. But also keep in mind that, as the game scale, most heroes would gain a lot of mana pool as well. So I think mana burn kind of takes it away from NA, usually to be a really, really feared hero in laning. Still very feared hero, but kind of takes away that edge from Nerubian Assassin. So probably, I think Nerubian Assassin still deserve a ban or a pick, but probably you won't see him as frequently as they are. So looking at this list of nerfs, you could probably scroll back, or I'll make a list of all the things that got nerfed. Um, oh, sorry, one more. Rasta's ultimate, his Serpent Wards increase cooldown, which is, I think, definitely necessary because Rasta's wards have been really used to be pushing a lot. Not that I'm against pushing, because pushing is all good. I'm all for shorter games, but it seems really too easy. All Rosses have to do is drop down the wards and just take down a tower, and he could still do that right now after the nerf, but not as frequently. I think the cooldown has been increased by quite a bit, so I think this is a necessary nerf. Rasa is still dangerous with his hex and whatnot, and his shackle, but probably won't be picked as frequently. So I think that's all the nerfs. Probably the biggest one, in my opinion, has been the clock, the Lord of Avernus, the Mana Burn, and Undying, and a Bat Rider, of course. So yeah, that's all the hero nerfs. I'll go into items and whatnot next. So let's look at some of the hero buffs. Not too many hero buffs. And the first one that caught my eyes the most is the Centaur buff. Okay, Centaur has always been one of those undeserving heroes that, in my opinion, but now always constricted by his mana pool, because one of those high strength but low intelligence heroes. So now Centaur is coming out with his stomp, and now his double edge no longer takes mana, or it's a free cast basically. I think you still have to pay the HP, of course. But yeah, look to see more Centaur. Centaur is a beast. Could jungle, could lane pretty well with like a slower, like a CM or something. And the decreased mana on the double edge is just insane. Could now just come out and double edging everyone like crazy. His combo should go off, not affected by mana burns and stuff like that. So look to Centaur to be more picked. Probably I don't know, a second or third pick as well. Could carry extremely well, and on the dagger on Centaur just too insane. Look for Centaur being picked a lot more. Another noticeable buff I saw is the Broodmother, another kind of a undeserving carry hero that has been seen. Broodmother could be played as a the scary part is that Broodmother could be played as a pushing hero as well. So Broodmother, they increase her ultimate duration and lifesteal, and then on a BKB on that just could disable people up, like it could just slow them down and whatnot. So look for Broodmother as kind of a semi-carry coming out, or a last-ditch carry effort playing in a push strategy. So Broodmother, I think we will see more of her, which is great, because Broodmother is one of those heroes that was really annoying to deal with before. Yeah, there's a couple heroes getting a considerable boost in their cooldowns. One of them I noticed the most is the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain now, I think most of her or two of her spells has been decreasing cooldown. Look for the return miss solo of Queen of Pain. Probably still not as strong as um, the Bat Rider and Clockwork, things like that. But the decreased cooldown should make her more useful in team battle and whatnot. And another decreased cooldown is the Pugna Award. In these days, a lot burst damage is the ideal way to play. It seems most teams have at least 2 or 3 burst damage heroes on their lineup. And the ward on Pugna used to be restricted by like 1 second cooldown. So like if 2 heroes would cast all their spells, or cast their spells in within 1 second, the ward will only hit one of them, because it has I think 1 second or a 7.5 second cooldown. I'm not sure. Now Ice Frog completely removed that, so whoever casting the spell, no matter how near or far in duration they are, they're all gonna get blasted, which I think is great because Pugna again is one of those unpicked, undeserving heroes that should be picked more often, and this increased buff in war should make him a lot more viable in competitive replay or competitive games. So look to see more of Pugna, and also a tiny buff on his toss, decreased cooldown, making him more viable hero. I will cover more on tiny other words because the other part of the tiny, the other half of the tiny is the blink dagger, and I'll go into more of that in the item buff and nerf as well. So there are a couple heroes that I'm not too sure if it's a buff or nerf. I haven't played enough games. I'm sure some of you guys would let me know. Um, the first one, the big one, is the TC, Tauren Chieftain. They have decreased his cast range on the Spirit, so he can't just pony across the map. Um, but they have increased his AOE on the Stomp. In my honest opinion and in my memory, the AOE on his Stomp is already extremely huge, and now they even increase AOE of it. So I don't know, like seriously, TC could like already disable the entire map or entire screen, and now they're increasing the AOE to it. So I don't know. Probably because TC doesn't chase as well with his Spirit anymore, but still that Stomp is just ridiculous, and now they increase the AOE of it. So I'm thinking this is a buff, but yeah, personally, I haven't seen a lot of TC lately, so I'm not too sure about that. And finally, another heroes I'm not too sure about is the Potom. I think they removed the Starfall on like 600 to 900 range. That means the second Starfall doesn't fall down anymore outside that range. But I'm not sure if this is actually better because let's say when a Potom leaps right next to hero and there's creeps, far and near surrounding the hero. If you the creeps, the Starfall doesn't hit the creeps, far away. Does it kind of increase the chances of hitting the hero, which is what you want probably. So I probably didn't read the changelog wrong or something. So if you know more about that, please let me know. So this has been the buff and nerf analysis on the hero part. So look into future to see more Centaur, more casting heroes, and more Pugna, of course, and probably less Clock. Well, you will definitely see Clock still, less Undying probably, less Enchantress and things like that. Okay, for the item section, I probably won't do a nerf and buff, but I'm just gonna talk about like the most changes. The biggest change I've noticed is the Bloodstone change. Wow, I'm in love with this item now. Before I'm in love with it, but now it's just insane. Before is like whenever you kill a hero, and then you get charges, and it gives you like 2 MP, 2 HP, gain, and then you get the other bonuses like you don't lose as much gold and experience and dying. Okay, whatever, not that big of a deal. But now, like before, it promotes kind of KSing because you want those charges, and it doesn't really help out your team that much. Like, you come back sooner, but whatever. But now Bloodstone has been transformed into a very team-oriented item, and I'm all for team-oriented item. Now, whoever kills like let's say you have a Bloodstone, and your teammates kill someone, you get the charge. So it doesn't promote KS, which is great. And I think the range is within 1,000, which is not too bad. It's close enough. So like if in a team fight, in nowadays, especially like with the gank heavy metagame, a lot of death and kills and happen in both sides. And with the Bloodstone charges, if your teammates gets like 4 or 3 kills, you get those 4 charges, and oh my god, the charges are just so insane. Now they have reduced the healing to 1 for HP and MP per charge, but it seems like you will definitely get more charges this way with the Bloodstone charge gain difference. And now I think like you lose less gold, like 25 less gold or 40 less gold per charge. The experience, and it even heals, like it heals your teammate by like 400 HP plus like 25 times the amount of the charges. So like if you have 10 charge, which is not all too uncommon, because remember, every time your teammates kill someone, you get the charge. Unless like I'm totally misreading everything, which I'll go back and check. Which I don't think. Yeah, I think that's how it is. Yeah. So you basically when you die, you freaking heal everyone, and if you don't die, you get more charges, and Oh my god, it's. I think you will see definitely see more Bloodstone. Before but keep in mind that Bloodstone is a pretty expensive item, and now that it's a support item, it's more reserved for the war buyers, and I don't think they will ever farm it up. So I'm looking for heroes like Bane Elemental could kind of support, but not buy wards. More of an intelligent hero that could farm it like a Puck maybe. I don't know. Puck usually get hexes. Maybe a Queen of Pain or Rasta. More likely they will get bloodstones now instead of the scepters and stuff like that. So look to see more Bloodstone. Personally, I think Bloodstone has received a huge nerf, promotes a lot of team play, which is always a plus in Dota.